Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, we're going to be continuing on with the Omen Path set, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm running out of steam with this set. It hasn't been as inventive for me. It's been kind of boring, actually, trying to put together decks with this, but we actually have a really fun card for today that kind of flips the lid, if you will, on a previous idea that we've had before. But what exactly am I rambling about? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it now and show you exactly what we're going to be talking about. Where am I at? Where am I at? Whoop, there we are. Yay. Okay, so from the Omen Pass, I believe this is supposed to be, again, it's so confusing to go between the paper cards and what we have in Arena. But I believe this is, what is it? Spider-Man's villain, Mr. Negative in paper. But here, he's Withar Cocoon Keeper. So it's going to be the same idea, though. We're going to be trying to flip our opponent's life total. So we're going to try to hurt ourselves as much as we can to get very low on life. Or maybe our opponent might do it to us. And then we're going to try to do the hilarious thing of putting this card into play. This will then flip the life totals. And then we hopefully should be able to just get a sneaky little hit to beat down our opponent. So without further ado, join me today in the Brawl format for a deck that I'm simply calling Life Swap. So that's the idea, everybody. But before we get started, let's go over, of course, how this is going to play out. We're going to cover the stats of the deck in just a few moments. Then we'll cover every single card in the deck to explain to you how the strategy is going to work. And then we'll get into as many matches as we can utilizing this budget version of the deck. But then we'll play a non-budget version a little bit halfway through the stream. We'll wrap it up, of course, to see how good we did. The good, the bad, and of course the ugly. And then finally from there, if you stick around beyond that, we might give you a little sneak peek as to what's to come for future videos. So let's go over the stats real quick for the deck. Because long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it, we have to talk about the stats of the deck before we actually dive right in. So our Life Swap deck today is going to be Orzhov colors of white and black. Average mana curve is going to be on the 3.0, and we'll be rocking a total of 27 creatures in the deck. We have 9 instants, 11 sorceries, 7 artifacts, 12 enchantments, and 36 lands. So, how it all works together, it's mostly going to be, again, focused on trying to wither our way down. So, using Withar here, Cocoon Keeper, it's a 7 mana, so it is a little expensive. But a 7 mana, 5/5 legendary creature, human villain that has vigilance and lifelink. When Withar when Withar enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, you draw that many cards. So that's actually where we get high risk, high reward with this card. It is very expensive, so it won't come until later in the game. But by that point, hopefully, we should have a low enough life total would actually be totally worth it to flip them with our creature. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to kind of be a little bit trickier with trying to balance between cards that will hurt us, but also cards that will still maintain stability in the game. So in order to do that, let's go over now all the cards in the set. So starting at the 1-drops here, we have a Johnny's Welcome. Every time a creature we control enters, we can gain 1 life. So I know that sounds a little counterproductive to us, as I just mentioned, to drain ourselves. But we actually, again, want to make sure we can carefully make that balance work out. So we will still need some life gain on our own in order to make sure we can just find the right amount once we actually cast Withar here. So that's why we'll have that. Crawling Chorus, of course, toxic. When a creature dies, you get to create a might. So, of course, just helps us replace itself. We have a kind of like, I mean, it's not really a secondary plan B to the deck, but technically we can put toxic counters on our opponent. Not something we're going to focus on too much, but we do have a couple cards that do support this idea. Requisition Raid here, Artifact Enchantment Hate, and also put +1/+1 counters on creatures we control. Restoration Magic here is mostly just to protect our game plan here. Gives any one of our permanents hexproof, indestructible until end of turn. If we pay a little bit more, we can also gain some life along the way. With the highest tier, we can give our entire team hexproof and indestructible and gain even more life. Ruin Lurker Bat. We are going to be doing a lot of descending with the deck, i.e. we'll be discarding cards, we'll be, of course, sacrificing cards, so this should be able to trigger this off. It has Flying and Lifelink as well to help us stabilize, and that means once we descend, we could scry 1. Selfless Savior here, instant speed protection, so again, we could sacrifice our little dog here just to make sure any one of our creatures gets indestructible until end of turn. Cauldron Familiar here. This is going to be kind of our normal cat combo here, so we do have this in here again for stabilization purposes. The cat gets sacrificed. It creates the food with the Witch's Oven that we see over here, and then we can then sacrifice the food to bring back the cat itself. So that's combo is going to be in the deck. Bone Shards here for more spot removal. We sacrifice a creature or discard a card to destroy a creature or planeswalker. Cecil Dark Knight here. Death Touch Legendary Human Knight, so anytime this deals damage, we will lose that much life. Again, normally that kind of is bad, but in this deck, this is actually exactly what we want to make sure. But again, we have to be very careful with how much life we actually lose on our own. Eaten Alive here, similar to Bone Shards here, just again, more spot removal for us. The Last Ride, a great card for us because we could use this to draw cards. We have to pay 2 life and 3 mana to do so. However, as we do it, we can of course kind of carefully curate this card into becoming a big legendary vehicle that's a 13/13. Of course, we can't use it in the early game, but actually will be very powerful if we get very close to the edge of losing our entire life. Vagabond's Faithful here simply sacrifices to just bring back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. We can only activate this however at sorcery speed. In the 2-drop slot, we have a Danto Vanguard, and this is probably our best card for the entire set. So a Danto Vanguard here may not look like much, but it's a Vampire Soldier, 1/1, 2 mana, and as long as it's attacking, it gets an extra +2/+0 pump. But the real reason you want this card in the deck is for this one simple ability. You pay 4 life at instant speed, giving the creature indestructible until end of turn. Why is that a big deal? But again, with Withar here, if a Danto Vanguard is out, we can pay the life, make sure this card is protected so it can't even be destroyed. And then as we do that, we can then kind of just sacrifice a ton of life until we get as low as possible with a Danto Vanguard, bring in Withar, and then you can then put that out and then flip the totals. So this card is actually hilariously good with this. It's actually a pretty cool little combo if we can get it to go off. Johnny's Pridemate here. We will gain some life along the way, so we do actually want a couple of big beatdown creatures. So the Pridemate here gains life. Put some +1/+1 counters on it. Benevolent Sleeper here. For edict purposes, this card will come in. If it enters kicked, then we can sacrifice another creature and then make our opponent sacrifice a creature as well. Clarion Spirit here. We will be casting several cards, so we do actually want some sacrifice fodder. So anytime we cast a second spell, we have to create a spirit token for us. It also has flying, so that's actually relevant for us. We want to get some cheap little hits in here there. We're going to be losing a lot of life, so Essence Channeler is actually pretty good for us. This Bat Cleric, anytime we lose life, we'll get Flying and Vigilance. Anytime we gain life, however, it gets a +1/+1 counter on the creature. If it dies, we have to put the counters it gets onto another creature we control. Skrelv's Hive here. So at the beginning of our upkeep, we will lose 1 life, but to create a Phyrexian Might token. Once we get enough poison counters on our opponent, our Mights here will have Toxic and Lifelink. So this is going to be, again, slow way to kind of just drain ourselves out, but also provide for us some tokens that we can use. Bitter Triumph here. We can either pay 3 life or discard a card to destroy a creature or Planeswalker. Deadly Dispute, sacrifice a creature or an artifact to draw 2 cards and make a treasure token. Fanatical Offering does the same thing, but to create a map token instead. So good for us, again, to just provide a little extra support along the way. Feed the Swarm here, again, for spot removal. We can destroy a creature or an enchantment. We will lose life equal to that permanent's mana value, but again, we want to make sure we do lose some life to encourage ourselves to get to Withar's ideal round of life gain and drain. Tavern Swindler here. This one definitely is a riskier card for us, but it can work for this game plan here. 2 mana, 2/2 Human Rogue. We pay 3 life and flip a coin. If we win the flip, we can gain 6 life, but of course if we lose the flip, we'll keep draining ourselves out, so we got to be careful of how we use it. Timeline Color here. Haste 2/2 Drix Warrior. When you cast this card from your graveyard, we can use it using the Warp ability. However, we have to pay 2 life also for the Warp cost, so again, just provides for us a nice little beatdown creature, but we can still keep using this over and over again. Fracture here. We can destroy a creature, enchantment, or artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. So again, more spot removal for the deck. Hidden Stockpile, we have the Revolt ability on this. At the beginning of our end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under our control, we create a servo token. You can sacrifice a creature for 1 mana and scry 1 if you want to, but again, ideally, you just mostly want to use this just to make sure we can just kind of keep getting more and more tokens out. Arcane Signet, we're a multicolored deck, so we're going to use this Mana Rock. Mirror Convert here, we can also use this as a kind of Mana Rock. We have to pay 2 life, however, in order to tap it and then make 1 mana of any color. But again, it just provides us with more life gain and drain for us. Lingering Souls, for this one, we can, of course, reuse this card 2 times over. So Lingering Souls could create 1/1 White Spirit creature tokens of flying and flash it back for an extra 2 mana to keep making more spirits. Omen of the Sun here. When this enchantment enters, we can trade 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, and we gain 2 life. So again, just making sure we're just trying to find that right balance between protecting ourselves, make sure we don't lose too much life, but also we can use this again just to help us just get through our game plan. Sacrifice this enchantment to scry 2. Rosy Cotton of South Lane here. Halfling Peasant, so legendary creature. When it enters, create a food token. Anytime we create a token, we got to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control other than Rosy Cotton. So kind of like our slow but incremental way of just providing extra power to any one of our creatures. Side quest, Catch a Fish. So from the Final Fantasy set, this enchantment here, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's an artifact or creature card, reveal it and put it into our hand. And then if we do that, we get to create a food token and transform this into a nice land we can use. We can sacrifice artifacts later on to put +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. Again, a lot of work to put in for this, but actually it does flip pretty easily once we get it out onto the field. We have Stroke of Midnight here. So this card is instant speed, just destroy a non-land permanent. Our opponent will create a 1/1 white human creature token, but again, that's a small price to pay for instant speed removal against pretty much anything on the board. Bogger Trawler here, it can be used as a land, and for once, we actually don't mind have to pay the life total in order to make this untapped. We want to make sure we can do that, or we could just simply use this as Graveyard Hate. Unstoppable Slasher here, an incredibly powerful card here, Zombie Assassin, Death Touch. So again, if our game plan kind of falls apart, we can use this to make up the losses here by draining out our opponent for half their life rounded up. However, if the card dies and it has no counters on it, it can come back to the battlefield with 2 stun counters on it. So provides for us a little bit more support if we can just use this as, again, another alternate way to win. Speaking of, again, other ways we can win, we also have Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. I love what this card does here. Anytime we gain life, an opponent will lose that much life. So real quick little tangent for just a moment here. Withar, as it says, when we exchange life totals, that does count as life gain. So say if this is out and Veto is out, we can instantly kill our opponent on the spot with both of these cards out. So that's another quick way we can just drain our opponent out of nowhere. It's an actually hilarious way to win, but again, it's tricky because Veto here is a creature, so spot removal is something to be mindful of. Withering Torment here, another more spot removal for us to destroy a creature or enchantment. We will lose 2 life, but it's, again, good for our deck. Phyrexian Arena here, at the beginning of our upkeep, we will draw a card and lose 1 life. So again, small incremental life loss, and also some card advantage for the deck. Campbell Profiteering Mayor here, Human Advisor. Whenever 1 or more tokens we control and our opponent controls enters, we can create a copy of it. However, it is going to be tapped. The ability can only trigger off once a turn. However, whenever 1 or more tokens we control enters, we get to drain our opponent for 1, and we get to gain 1 life. As you notice, we already have quite a few ways of getting tokens in the deck, so this is actually good for us to kind of, again, stabilize when we need to. Teysa, Opulent Oligarch here, so you can use this kind of like as the alternate commander if you want to, along with Campbell here. So again, if you want to flip it into, say, maybe more focusing on the token plan, or for Teysa's plan, actually it also focuses on tokens as well. You can do that as well with the deck. But for Teysa Opulent Oligarch here, so 3 mana, 2/3 Human Advisor, she has Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, you investigate, which means you create a clue token. Whenever an opponent loses life that turn, or whenever a clue you control is put into the graveyard for the battlefield, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. This trigger, of course, only does it once a turn, but it's still pretty awesome for us. We can get a bunch of extra tokens this way. Staff of Completion, another amazing card for the deck. We could use this to simply pay life and kind of sculpt our way to a victory here by paying an appropriate amount of life to either destroy a permanent we control, we can add mana, proliferate, draw a card, or for 5 mana, untap the artifact. In the 4-drop slot, we have Late to Dinner here, and also we have Zombify. Both of them do the same thing. Bring back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. With Late to Dinner, we also create a food token, which we could use again for stabilization. Battle Screech here, create again some more tokens. These are going to be bird tokens here that are flying, and then you could flash it back by tapping 3 untapped white creatures we control. We do make a lot of white spirits, so that actually does work perfectly well with our plan. Grasping Shadows here. Whenever a creature we control attacks alone, it gains Death Touch and lifelink until end of turn, and we put a Dread counter on the enchantment. Once we have 3 or more Dread counters, we can transform it into Shadow's Lair, which is now a land, and also we can use it to remove a Dread counter from the land to draw a card and lose 1 life. Mirkwood Bats here. If you haven't already noticed, it's kind of like our secondary plan here is to make a lot of tokens. So by doing so, Mirkwood Bats is perfect for the deck. Anytime we create or sacrifice a token, we make an opponent lose 1 life. Death Priest of Merkle here, Tiefling Cleric, Skeletons, Vampires, and Zombies we control will get +1/+1. We don't really care too much about that, we just want to make skeleton tokens. So anytime a creature dies, whether it's ours or our opponent's, we just create that token, and that's great for us to, again, go slowly, go wide. Fel the Profane here, use it either as spot remove for creatures or planeswalkers, or simply make it a land in a pinch. Baron Bertram Greywater here, 4 mana, 3/4 Vampire Noble. Anytime 1 or more tokens we control enters, create a 1/1 black Vampire Rogue creature token with lifelink. However, again, this can only be triggered once each turn. Sacrifice another creature or artifact to draw a card. So again, either one of these cards you could use to swap out if you want to with Withar here, if you want to just kind of adjust the deck and just make it a slightly more of like a token game plan here. So whichever you want to do, if you want to power down the deck, that also works well with it. Hedron Archive here, another big mana rock for us. Tap it to create 2 generic mana, or sacrifice the artifact later on to draw 2 cards. Repair and Recharge in the 5-drop slot. Bring back an artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker from our graveyard to the battlefield and create a Power Stone token. Starfield Shepherd here. You technically are not going to cast this for 5 mana at some point, but you can warp it in for 2. When it enters, you get to dig out a basic plains card or a creature card with a mana value of 1 or less, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. It's actually really good for us, again, just dig out certain cards that we're definitely going to need for the deck. Eldest Reborn, 5 mana. Opponent will have to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. After that, they then discard a card at part 2. And then part 3, put a creature or planeswalker from any graveyard onto the battlefield under our control. Great for the deck to make sure we can just either steal something great from our opponent here, or again, just provide for us more value. Unburial Rites, similar to Zombify and Late to Dinner, just use it to bring back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. You can also flash it back and use it again for 4 mana. Grey Merchant of Asphodel here. So again, we're not too heavy on the devotion plan with black, but we have quite a few black cards here that this actually can work for us. Use it, of course, to life gain and drain our opponents. Also, again, as a creature, this goes, again, hilariously well with Veto here, if you can make it all work out. Glasswing Grace here can either be a tap land in a pinch, or use it as an enchantment aura to give a creature +2/+2 and flying and lifelink. And finally, on the far end here, we have Revival Revenge, another great card for us. We can either use this to bring back a creature card with a mana value of 3 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield, or ideally, use this to double your life total, and opponent will lose half their life. So this can also be an amazing way to life gain and drain our opponent. Surgical Knife / Hospital Room here. So this enchantment room, use it to, again, bring back a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield for 3 mana value of 3 or less. Or with Hospital Room, anytime we attack, put a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature. Troll of Khazandam here, 6 mana for a giant troll that cannot be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, but ideally you can use the Swamp Style to bring back a swamp that we can dig out of our library. Summon Anima here. So this is going to be as an enchantment creature, Saga Horror. Just use it for the 3 parts here to draw a card and lose 1 life. And then finally on the 5th part, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and they will lose 3 life. And then finally, on the top end of our curve here, we have Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. At the beginning of our end step, draw a card. If we control a demon, we can make an opponent lose 2 life. But if we don't have that, we will lose 2 life ourselves. And then of course, Ritual Chamber can summon a demon, which is a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying. Phew, and then almost there, everybody. So wrapping this up here, we're now going to go over the course of the lands. So we have 10 plains, 10 swamps. We'll use Infinite or Dead lands. We'll use Shepherd Dunes here. These are actually pretty good lands for our deck because we can also use these to pay 1 life to adjust our life total to make sure Withar gets max value. Bojuka Bog Hero, of course, covers graveyards on lands. And then, of course, for the remainder, it's going to be all dual taps. So Forlorn Flats, Goldmire Bridge, Neglected Manor, Scorn Barrens, Silver Quill Campus, Sunlit March, Arid Archway to bounce back lands we can use as spells, Command Tower is a staple, Demolition Field to then destroy non-basic lands, Evolving Wilds is their basic fetch in the deck with the Spectre Storefront, Volatile Fault, and Urza's Cave to then dig out whatever land we need. But otherwise, that is the whole deck, everybody. Whew, oh man. As always, takes quite a while to get through that, but thank you again for hanging in there, everybody. So with that now, let's get to the fun part of it. Let's go ahead, let's take this deck into the Brawl format, and let's see how well this deck can do. Okay, so let's see. We'll get this going here. We'll do live swap, and again, we will talk about the upgraded deck a little bit later on in the video. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this going. Feeling pretty good about this one today. This should be a fun one for us. I did some testing with it over the past couple days, and it actually is hilarious if you can get the combo to go off. But it is a little bit high risk, high reward. Because again, we're just trying to focus on seeing if we can make it all work out. Alright, alright. Here comes our first match, everybody.
It's time to
Yeah, alright, okay. Alright, so let's see here. So let's see. We got our planes, Arcane Signet, so we got great ramping for us. And Cecil is going to be great for us to kind of make sure we can adjust our game plan. Our opponent is playing Tovolar here, so I guess they're going to be all in on werewolves. Which does remind me, now that we're in October, we actually can start making maybe some spooky decks for the month. So maybe we'll try to do some more fun stuff like that coming up. Play our Swamp, and we'll play Cecil to get started. Alright, opponent, what you got? Show me what you got. Okay. Opponents. They're thinking. Okay, they got a tap land. That's good for us. Put down the plains. Play Arcane Signets. Down 23. And we will also be at 23. Okay, so how's everyone's week been going so far, everybody? Let me know again. How you feeling overall about, I guess, again, as we continue through Omen Pass. Did you actually like the theming for Omen Pass, or were you more of like a meh person on it? Let me know, everybody. I would love to hear from you on your thought process on that. Okay, so Clarion Spirits. Play Valgavoth's Faithful, so this will make for us a spirit token. Play Arid Archway, so we will have to tap, I'm sorry, we'll have to actually bounce back a land, but that's a small price to pay. We still swing. Okay, so they do have one of their mana dorks, but we will slowly drain ourselves out as well. Actually, this is kind of awkward because our life totals are exactly the same. So Withar won't help us out much yet. On the other hand here, we could flip Cecil into Redeemed Paladin if we need to kind of just close out the game and make everything indestructible. I did forget to mention that. Okay, here comes Tovolar. So the night and day mechanic is now active too, which is also an annoying mechanic, but we'll try to keep track of it as best we can. Okay, let's see. What's our opponent going to do? Friendly rivalry. Alright. They do expand. They destroy our creature, but that's, again, not a huge deal for us. So let's see. Play Mirkwood Bats. Selfless Savior. Make a token. Slowly drain our opponent there. Swing with the Spirit. Down to 19. Okay. So little by little we're making it there. So we got right now 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 mana. We can be close to getting to Withar, but hopefully we can at least start adjusting our life totals to make sure we can get around things. Tovolar is a little scary, though. Okay, so our opponent is starting to go pretty big here. We'll wait it out. Volatile Faults. Alright. We'll play our side quest. Volatile Fault. And our last card. Make another token. Train our opponents. We'll put our opponent at 14. Okay. So while technically Withar may not give us the most value right now, if we have to, we can also hurt ourselves and draw a ton of cards. Or we could just let our opponent do some damage to us and then see if we can try to do the flip itself. We have options. I don't think our opponent has any wraths for this deck, because that also would hurt them too. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not quite enough mana just yet. Okay. It's a land. Let's see. How do we want to do this here? I guess we'll get out a Plains. And we can also sacrifice Valgavoth's Faithful. Bringing back Cecil. Alright, let's flip a coin. Okay, so we just lose 3 life. With just the bats. That's 12. And their stuff has now been flipped, so that's a little scary. But again, our game plan can go off here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're in range. If our opponent gets cheeky here and just try to swing, we might be able to actually pull this off here now. They don't have enough to blow away the whole board. So we actually might just let them push through. Come on, opponents. Come on. I know you want to do your big swing. You have trampled creatures too, so I'm pretty sure that looks very enticing right now. Okay, so they are swinging. Oh, okay, opponent. Can they do this? Okay. So that's 12 damage at us. Okay. In the meantime, yeah, we'll let it go. Down to 6. They'll get to draw a card. Small price to pay. Okay. Still can't flip that just yet, but that's okay. So here's how we do this here. Plains. Ideally, we actually don't want to gain life here. We actually want to lose 3 life. If we do that, we can win. For once, lose the flip. Oh, that's awkward. We actually won the flip. Okay. So, well, I guess Withar's going to have to come in. Wait, hold on. Can we do it here? I think we can. So, exchange life totals. So we go back up to 12, and now they're at 9. We can then... Wait, do we want Cecil to flip? Probably. Okay. Okay, they block. Down to 4. We take a hit, but we actually flip Cecil now into Redeemed Paladin. So we now actually are in a pretty good spot here. Opponents. Caretaker, and that comes in as, oh dear, That's a big creature. Oh, they also have trample now. Okay. Well, actually, I think now we just lost. Okay, so... Oh, yeah. Alright, so in that case then... Wait, it has Intimidate? Oh, wow, that's a mechanic I've completely forgotten about. Alright, so in that case then, we'll do that here. And... So, did we lose? I didn't even bother calculating this correctly. Down to 6. Oh, we go back up to 3? Oh my goodness. Did we actually win? I mean, they're tapped out. Wait, no. Oh, wait, that's right. The caretaker's still alive. Okay, reveal. Oh my goodness. We actually won that one? Oh my goodness. Yay! I think both myself and our opponent kind of miscalculated the play there, because our opponent there went super aggro, and I was like, wait, we're dead, aren't we? And before I actually decided, I mean, sacrificing the spirit, the selfless savior, actually did save us there, because we were able to keep ourselves alive just enough, and we actually did have enough tokens that just did the final swing. Oh, okay. Magic math is confusing everybody, but hey, we got our win, so I'll take it. Victory there. Of course, it wasn't the ideal way we wanted it, but we took it. All right, life swap, everybody. See, it can work. But okay, now that we kind of got that going there, we kind of got a little bit of an idea of how the deck's going to work. Let's see if we can get a couple more wins here. I'm looking pretty forward to this now. All right, and I do see over there, what is it, on Instagram there, was it Claudio Perez Cordova joining us over on Instagram there. Thanks again for joining us today, my fire friend. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, in the meantime here, let's see. A little high on the curve here. I don't think we can really cast much of anything. Let's mulligan this. Okay. Okay, this is actually pretty good. We'll keep this. This looks pretty good. Okay, so in the meantime here, let's get our planes. I'll wait it out. So what our opponent's playing is, what was it? Vadmir, New Blood. I have actually this in paper. Huh. It's been a crime. Okay, so they're going to try to pump up Vadmir here to do things. We'll see if we can get around it. I'm guessing because of that, crimes they commit are probably going to bring back their skeletons over and over. Okay, here comes Vladimir. But we do have ways of dealing with it, so that's not a problem for us per se. Alright. Wait it out for a bit. We're going to wait until Vladimir gets to a point where we can actually just start hitting it here. But we're also going to have to hurt ourselves a smidge here and there just to make sure we can get ahead of things. Alright, so, Bitter Triumph. We'll actually pay the 3 life. Not too often I actually want to do that. But for our deck, we actually definitely want to lower our life total. Okay, Vladimir. At least you. Okay. That's fine. They draw a couple cards. We'll take the hit here still. Alright, Sunlit Marsh. So let's play this. Let's play Battle Screech. Make some burbs. Okay. Opponents. Nope. Don't do it, opponent. Don't blow up our birds. Okay, so the Forsaken Miner will still keep hitting us, which is actually not too bad. Because we're at 1 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This puts us at 6. We actually do need just 1 more mana, and then we can flip the life totals again. Ooh, Nighthawk Scavenger is a little scary, but that's okay. We have Stroke of Midnight already ready to go. So our opponent is all in on the Vampire game plan here, which is cute. Plains. Tavern Swindler. And then we will wait it out for a bit. No attacks. So, plan here. Destroy the Nighthawk Scavenger. That's fine. And we actually don't even care that our opponent's going to gain life. Gaining life actually will make it even more sweeter than once we flip the totals. But we have to make sure we actually do have a couple of... Down to 14, we're at 23. We have to make sure that we still can maintain a couple creatures to actually get the final swing in. Alright. Oh. Okay, well, I guess we'll do this now. Actually, hold on. No, let it go. That's fine. I don't mind the flip there. They swing here. We'll have to let it go. Actually, just as a precaution. Scavenger goes bye-bye. I thought about keeping it alive, but just out of precaution. We don't want to lose too much life too fast. Okay, we got the Zombify. That's good. But we don't have anything we really we don't have anything we realistically want to get, but we do need to make sure we still stabilize. No attacks. Pass. Okay, we just need one more land. One more land, we could flip everything, and then hopefully we can just drain out our opponent quick. Okay, Fell Stinger. Do they exploit? Alright, that's fine. They sacrificed the token we gave them. That's cute. Draw some cards. Okay, down to 22. Still pretty good, though. I mean, we're at 11. We want to have them do a little more damage to us. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, opponent. Vladimir. Or Vadmir, I should say. Okay, so in that case, then, we will not block. Down to 8. Okay. It's getting a little risky here. Okay, we got the Evolving Wild, so that means we just need to survive one turn. Just one turn. Okay, we will get out Swamp. So, Tavern Swindler, ironically, we want to actually lose life with this card. We don't want to win the flips. Winning the flips actually puts us further away from our victory. So this, again, this is literally just, it's a coin flip risk here. It's hilarious when it works, but for this time, we actually do want to lose life. So this time, we'll probably just let our opponent swing. Insatiable Avarice. Okay. Or maybe Fanatical Offering off of it might actually be better. But either way, okay. So here's how we do it. So we're at 8. That's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is lethal if they swing. But we need to make sure we sculpt it in a way where we don't lose too much life in case they have anything. But we also kind of have to awkwardly make sure we block correctly. This is a risky turn. If our opponent taps out, then we're fine. What will you do, opponents? You got to be careful, too. Can't get too greedy. Beat the Swarm. Okay. So in that case, then, I guess we'll Fanatical Offering now. Get some value off the card, just in case. Make a map token. Okay, they're at 20. Okay. So in this case, let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Block Forsaken Miner. That's all we need. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to get the dream hit here. This is exactly what we wanted to do, everybody. Okay. Withar. This is what we came here for. Swap the life totals. We got him. And there you go, everybody. That was the dream hit. Flipping the life total on our opponent there was hilarious. That actually worked. Yay. All right. There we go, everybody. That was exactly how we wanted to go. Oh, man. It was as if our opponent... Did our opponent not realize what we were trying to do? That was literally absolute perfection. Oh, we'll save that one for the future highlight. But there you go, everybody. Perfect example of what you want the deck to do. As long as you, again, you can just adjust yourself just carefully. Make sure not to lose too much life, but ideally get down to 1 life, have at least 1 creature that can swing in the air, and then you can get a victory by flipping life totals. All right, let's do this again. All right.
It's time to
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so... All right. A little bit awkward on the mana. We're going to have to mulligan this. Okay, so this should be fine. Hold on. See ya. Opponent's still thinking about this. While our opponent's in it, let me go grab a water real quick, everybody. I'll be right back for a second here. Don't worry. Just a moment. Whew. Okay, what did I miss, everybody? Okay. Oh, our opponent is there now. Yay. Okay, so we'll keep this hand for sure. All right, in the meantime here, let's get the Obscura Storefront. Yay. Okay, so for that, we will get out a swamp. Oh, we got the troll also. That's actually pretty good. Forest. Burgeoning. Oh, okay. So our opponent... Whenever an opponent plays a land, you can play... Okay, so they're going to try to overwhelm us here with stuff. But we are prepared for that anyway. Fracture. No, 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 opponent. You're not getting that many greedy lands off of us. Don't you dare. So we got the Terramorphic Expanse. Okay, well, that's not horrible. But we don't want them to run away with this. So they're playing a Simic deck. Let's see. Can we get around things here? Play the Ruin Lurker Bats. We'll play the Campus. And pass. Actually, we'll Swamp Cycle now. There's not really much of a reason for us to wait it out. Omen of the Seas. Because I forgot also that does trigger off Descend. Opponents? Digging out what they need. Yep. Okay, so that actually does help us out here. We'll get Sunlit Marsh. So we get a tap land. And we get to Scry, so... Oh, Repair and Recharge. That's actually pretty good for us. We can bring back the Troll if we want to get a big beatdown creature in case of things kind of fall apart. Okay. Protean. Thaumaturge? I can't say that word. It's a creature, everybody, that can apparently just copy something. Huh. Alright. Well, let's have Exploration. You can play additional lands. Okay, so our opponent really does want to make sure they can beat us down here. Pay the 3 life, though. Actually, hold on. And we'll probably say that actually for Oko. Might be a better option there. Lingering Souls. We swing. Does our opponent block? If they block, that's fine. Okay. We're at 27, they're at 24. So again, Withar won't help us out here too much now. We'll have to wait it out a bit. Ooh, Vorinclex. Ooh, that's a scary card. Not good. But we have to let it go. We have to make sure we can still lose some life in order to make sure we can make this all work out. Our opponent is out of cards, though, so that actually is good for us. Okay. We won't get counters on things. But that's okay. It's not what we're worried about. Lingering Souls. Again. Some more tokens. Make sure we have enough in the air that we can actually do our thing. We're going to try to keep pace with our opponent because Vorinclex is a clock. A very fast clock. Okay, Oko coming down. Alright, so. For each other non-land permanent. Okay. They can only keep 1. So in that case then, that's a lot of... Got the Constellation thing going on. Okay, so they made a ton of extra tokens. Annoying, by the way. But it's not actually horrible for us. Not actually that bad. Okay, tap land. I'm waiting for our opponent to tap out, but I don't think they will. So in that case then, I think this is the turn. We gotta pay 3 life. Destroy Oko.
If there's one thing I hate.
Okay, so they bounce it back.
Now isn't that interesting?
Opponent's Vorinclex gets through. We're at 13. Still not quite where we want to be at. We need more life lost. Believe it or not, we actually do need to lose more life. Okay, ooh, Infernal Grasp. That's actually pretty good. So with that, guess we'll do it now. Vorinclex goes bye-bye. That's good. Okay. So for now, pass the turn. Okay. So now the tricky part. Just again, biding our time until we have just enough to do enough damage by flipping the life totals and then just wiping out our opponent. But it's actually going to be hilarious if our opponent just starts to keep drawing cards off of Tatyova here. Which they can. It'll be annoying. But it might work out for us. We'll see. Okay. Well, at least we don't have to worry about Vorinclex putting too many counters on Oko now. Okay, so they are trying to do the thing. Let's see. How many do we have enough lands to actually cast this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need actually one more source. But I think we can get it. Urza's Cave can get us. I think Arid Archway probably might be our best option. Because that does count as 2. Oh, they station. Vendo. Do they swing? I don't think they're going to swing. Okay, so in that case now, Urza's Cave. Sacrifice. We will get out Arid Archway as our land. This bounces back at least one of our basics. But that's okay. We can replay it here and now. Okay, so with that, a Johnny's Pridemate. Swing here with Ruin Lurker Bats. Ooh, they do block. Okay. That does allow us to pump up a Johnny just a smidge. Let's see. Alright, so next, Silver Quill Campus might actually be helpful here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this can help us try to fix up our next turns. Okay, that's right, opponent. Keep gaining life. I don't mind. Just come on. Do a little bit of damage against us. Swing just a little bit. That's all we want you to do. Ooh. What's that gonna do? What the... What? Hold on one second, everybody. Hold on. Is this actually real? Okay, Ornate Imitations. For each number between 1 and X, conjure a random creature card. What kind of stupid card is this? I'm sorry. What is this? What is this? Just... This is in the game? Okay. So they just put together a bunch of stuff now and have completely wrecked us here? Oh, jeez. Okay. See, this is again why everybody, again, don't want to rant again, but, well, come on! What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of card... What kind of card is allowed into the game that lets this kind of stupid thing happen? Realistically, everything's going just fine, and now we're completely thrown off here from this game plan. Okay. Alright, well, now I don't know if we're going to be able to win here because now they just summoned a bunch of stupid cards. Let's see here. Silver Quill Campus. The downside, of course, of playing a budget deck is also we don't have the means to have a wrap. Okay, we still got a Plains. That doesn't help us. Okay. Now, I don't know what to do. I don't think we're going to have enough now to survive the next turn. We could try, but that was absolutely stupid. Come on. Come on. How is this okay? Like, just... of course it has to be Simic colors. Of course that makes me hate this. Alright, so now they have all the creatures they need. They have all the mana they need. They got the Helm of the Host. I think this one's a loss. We'll see what they go right now. I mean, realistically, like, okay. Can I even survive the hits? Okay, so if I was to realistically try to block this, that's... We can afford some damage, but realistically, I don't know. I'm trying to math it out right now in my head. I got doubling season. Let's find opponents. We would literally need to have a couple creatures just survive the hit, swing, swap Withar, and do our thing. I don't know if it's going to happen. Jetski, Jesus. Yeah, you're telling me. They played an alchemy card I had no idea even existed because, again, I don't really follow alchemy cards. And then now I look like my whole game plan that I was sculpting out so well completely ruined because, again, of RNG. But that does lead me to a question, everybody. How do you all feel about alchemy cards? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Again, I've expressed many times on streams I hate these cards because of just... It throws too much randomness already into a game that already technically has randomness as well, but it just feels like they're a little unfair. Like in this instance here, just the cards just... Okay. Okay, so our opponent's definitely going to do their swings. Okay, but they're tapped out. Can we actually do this? Okay. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, that means they destroy a creature. Okay, so let's see. Is it actually possible? Can I actually find a way out of this? So we need... Okay, Johnny's going to have to block those because we can't take that much lethal. Okay, so otherwise that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Wait, no. Okay. We'll have that go through. That's 7... No, 6, 11. Okay. Sorry, I have to math this out, everybody. There's some way I think, in theory, we might actually be able to pull off a win here. Hold on. So block those. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Oh, okay, hold on. Block. Need to make sure we block this correctly. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Wait, no, hold on. 1, 2, 5. Okay. If I die here by my own stupid ability to do math, so be it. Down to 1. Oh my goodness. Did we actually do this? Wait, is there a way they can beat us here? Did we manage to overcome what I thought was impossible? Oh my goodness. We did it again? We did it again! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I didn't think that was actually going to work out. I thought for a second there we were going to lose completely and horribly. But some way, somehow, our opponent... how do our opponents not know our game plan there? Literally, you can see what we're trying to do here. We want our total to get down to 0. And then some way, somehow, we carefully managed to block everything. Wow, okay, yay. This is actually hilarious. I'm liking this deck. And remember, this is a budget version, by the way. You can build this right now with, I think, what is it? I think we put this deck together. The cheap version you see here now for about... I'm trying to math it out right now. I think we built this for like 13, 14 rares. That's actually pretty good in Arena. And I think in total in paper, this will cost you maybe like 65 bucks, which is a little bit more than a pre-con these days, but still, that's pretty good. Jesky, well played. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And how are you doing today? And again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us today here on the chat. But yeah, I had to really kind of think, again, I know, playing Magic and not being good at math, terrible combination, by the way, but I mathed it out just right, and we were able to get a win there. So take that, opponents. Oh, that felt so good, though. That felt great. All right. Let's see if we can keep the good times rolling, everybody. Maybe we can get in, I think, maybe one more on the budget. And then we'll see if we can flip to the non-budget version. So if you want to go super all out with this deck, you totally can. Although, not going to lie, the non-budget version I did calculate. And if you were to put together the non-budget version, which we'll talk about in a second, it is stupidly expensive. Not saying you have to spend that much, but we'll explain in a bit. For those that are kind of scratching their heads, don't worry. At the end of the stream, as always, I like to always put together the... I'll put together links for the deck lists. So if you're interested in seeing how this all works, and if you're liking what we do, we'll be more than happy to share that with you at the end of the video. Okay, so our opponent is going to be playing with a lot of attack triggers. This is going to be actually a harder one because we now have to calculate possibly a second attack or a second trigger ability, which might put us in a bad spot. We'll see. Bird B Leaf over on Instagram there. Thanks again for joining us for today. How you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so in the meantime here. One thing actually random. How do y'all feel about the fact that Arena still doesn't give us enough custom options? I have been wanting for the longest time for us to at least pick our battlefields. I would love that. I mean, what is it? Yu-Gi-Oh lets you do that. Why not Magic? I'm just saying. We'll get a Plains, by the way. Alright, get another Plains there. That's cute. Alright, nothing yet. But we also have hilariously Veto. So this is actually another way we can get to our win. Oh, we also have Gray Merchant. That's actually good too. Okay, so we have lots of options here, which is nice. Our opponent also is going to be playing creatures. We also have Repair and Recharge for stuff later. We'll wait it out for a bit. I just don't know what our opponent has in hand. So I don't know if they're waiting for their red mana to bring out Ishin, or I don't know if they're waiting for some other option here. We'll see. But yeah, 2 back-to-back wins, and we were able to get the game plan to go off. That's actually great for us. Not too bad. Okay. Opponents, what you got? Opponents? Okay, they're there still. Okay, they managed to draw on all their lands with their Surveil, Shadowy Backstreet. Surveillin. Okay, nothing. Anything else, opponents? Don't keep me waiting too long. During Innocence. Okay, they got their sheep, their Ball Ramu. Okay, so we'll play Grasping Shadow for now. Still trying to get a feel for what our opponent's trying to do. Okay. Let's see. Grey Merchant won't help us out too much for now, but that is nice to have it in our back pocket with Veto here. That actually might be decent later on. But the Grasping Shadow will at least give us a way to get some cheap hits in. And when again, we don't mind that our opponent will hit us, and we don't mind that their life total will go up. We actually want that to happen to make this victory all the more sweeter. Assuming our opponent actually plays Magic sometime today. Come on, opponents. Okay, they have Alicia. Okay, they draw a card. Is it off of... Okay, it's power 2 or less. I keep forgetting. I thought it was mana value. I really should read my cards more often. Okay, go down to 23. They go up to 27. Okay, so the gap is growing, but that's exactly what we want. All right, in the meantime here, we'll feed the Swarm. Can't have Alicia survive too much, so we go down to 20. We'll bring in Rosy Cotton. Make a food token. Alright. They get a mountain. Do they put the diamond pickaxe on the sheep? Oh, there's another alchemy card, by the way. Okay, so what does this one do? I never bother to keep up with alchemy cards. They're just so annoying. But okay, it's fine. Sheep it swings. Okay. Galcavan Outrider, so whenever we sacrifice probably the topmost creature in your card perpetually. Oh, jeez. Okay, totally not annoying to deal with, but that's okay. We can still make it work, everybody. Okay. Teysa. Opulent. Oligarch. I actually did want to build a deck just around her, but we never got around to it just because of time constraints. But heck, we are in the spooky season, so maybe we'll do some spirit decks coming up soon. Let's see. In the meantime, we will... Let's see. Do we want to sacrifice a creature here? I don't want to start pumping up creatures too much, so we're going to sacrifice Roseon for this. Small price to pay. But this might be what we're going to need to do. We have right now 5 mana. 6. Okay. Okay. So in the meantime, let's see. Nothing else yet. Okay, opponents. Is Ishin coming in yet? Grasp of Fate. So that means that'll exile Teysa. Okay. Annoying, but this is fine. Ishin. So he is coming in now. So that means double token triggers. Like up to 23, we're at 14. Okay, Urza's Cave. Not too bad. We'll feel him out with Veto for a moment here. If this actually works, this actually might be hilarious. So we also can do the life gain and drain swap with these two. We actually don't have that much in terms of actual devotion, but that's not the point. What we're going to try to do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Smile at Death. Ooh, okay. Okay, so they get to bring back 2 creature cards. Cronus. Okay. Prevent all combat damage. Ooh. Ugh. Alright, so this is where the scary hit comes in. We need a land off the top. That's all we need right now to somehow get this victory. Alright, deck. For once, give me the land we need. Come on, give it to me. Mirkwood Bat's not quite what we needed. Okay, it's fine. So in the meantime... Alright. Not ideal. Do a quick little bit of life gain and drain here, just to kind of keep our head above water. We'll use Grey Merchant as a protection for a bit. Wait, actually, wait, no. Do they win here? Oh, actually, they might beat us here. hold on. That's 10. Okay, that means we would have to block completely with both Veto and Gray Merchant. Wow. Toots. Alright, well, maybe we might not get there with this. Oh, yeah, now we lost for sure. Well, alright, well, can't win them all, everybody. Our opponent just go off here. Yep. They have Menace, and we can't block. Alright, we got him. Or at least we lost. Well, it's a shame. But hey, as I mentioned, you can't win them all. Still, we came close. We almost managed to do the hilarious combo with... what was it? We almost got it with Veto and Withar there. We just needed one more land, but okay. It's alright. No, get him next time. Still get him next time. Not a big deal. However, we're at the halfway point of the stream, so you know what? I want to take this deck to the next level. So what if we go with the upgraded deck for the remainder of the stream? Let's give it a quick little overview as to how this all goes. So real briefly, we're going to do a massive overhaul to give us a lot more power behind everything. So with this version here, let's upgrade our deck a little bit here. Not going to lie, this deck is stupidly expensive. I think the paper version, you don't want to pay for this, by the way. I think this one, if you were to build this in actual paper as a commander deck, will be $800. Don't pay that, unless if you're someone that's obscenely rich with the game. But realistically, though, for this one here, it's a lot, but you do get a lot more power boosted up from this. So we'll be throwing in Authority of the Consuls. This slows down our opponent's creatures, gives us a bit of life, so we can kind of use this again to sculpt our game plan. Legion's Landing here, Legendary Enchantment, gives us a Vampire creature token, flips into a land itself where we can start making vampires with lifelink, again, for stabilization. For additional power stuff, we'll also throw in Annihilating Glare. Bone Shards will keep the Cecil, Eaten Alive gets kept. Malachar Rebirth. I know this is technically not a rare or mythic, but in paper, this is like a $9 uncommon. That's ridiculous, by the way, but it goes great with the deck. Instant speed protection because put the say on Withar here, and then you can also life gain and drain your opponent, lose a bit of life along the way to then keep it alive. Reanimate, of course, so this can bring back whatever we need to. Last Ride, of course, kept. Valgavas Faithful. We're still going to want to keep the Dondo Vanguard combo. I hope we can pull this off a little bit later on, but we'll see. We're going to throw in also Blind Obedience, so kind of stacks up with Authority of the Consuls, just to make sure we can just keep our opponent's game plan tapped down, so that's good. Orcish Bowmasters here. I know a lot of people absolutely hate this card, but it's great for our deck, so we can throw this in as well. Bitter Blossom here creates for us Fairy Rogue tokens, so again, we will lose life as we keep making the tokens, but again, it provides us with some blockers in the sky. Caustic Bronco here, and Dark Confidant did kind of do the same thing, so this can help us again just dig through our deck. We will lose life along the way, but again, small price to pay to make sure we can get the edge against our opponents. Dread Horde Evasion, another good card for us. We will lose life off of it, but we can start creating tokens that'll be great for us. The zombie army will get bigger and bigger and provide for us another way of beating down our opponents. In terms of other options we have here, Lunar Convocation here. So this Orzhov enchantment, every time we gain life, an opponent will lose life. If we gained and lost life, we can make a bat token. So you kind of can see here, we want to make sure we have some form of tokens in some way, shape, or form once we start draining ourselves out, so that way we can guarantee we can get the damage in against our opponent. Priest of Fell Rites, just make sure, again, we can keep our game plan alive. We can use this to pay 3 life, sacrifice it, and then bring back another creature from a graveyard to the battlefield. So again, that's great for us. Teferi's Protection, if everything completely falls apart, we have our protection here to make sure we can ensure we have another turn saved up to get what we want. Black Card Market Connection is probably one of our best cards in the upgraded version here, because we can then use this to sculpt what we need. We can gain treasure for ramp, we can draw cards if we need to, and we can create blockers if we need to. However, at the worst, we will lose up to 6 life a turn if we do everything. But actually, that again might provide us just what we need to ensure that Withar can get max value out of itself. So that's an option for us. We'll throw in Sedgemoor Witch here. We do have a lot of tokens, and we do have quite a few instants and sorceries, so we can use this, of course, to create some more pest tokens. When those pest tokens die, they gain us some life. So again, we want to make sure we're just balancing out between making sure we have enough life to that way we don't accidentally kill ourselves. Speaking of that, we also are going to use Sephiroth here. So again, Sephiroth, amazing card for us. If we can use this as a life gain and drain options for us. So kind of use that kind of like as an aristocrat's backup plan to everything. Toxic Deluge is probably our best option here in terms of utilizing any wrath for a deck like this, because again, we want to pay life. So you can use this to pay life to give all creatures -X until end of turn. In terms of other options for us, Warren Soul Trader here, just pay 1 life at instant speed to create treasure tokens. You have to sacrifice creatures, but again, with how our deck works, we should have no problem building up a ton of extra creatures, and this will quickly develop for us a ton of extra treasures that we can need to cast what we want to spend. Gix Yawgmoth Praetor here, another great way for us. So if we do combat damage, we can pay life and then draw cards. We can use this other ability here to then play lands and cast spells for free if we're willing to take that risk on that one. Speaking of other risks, we have Grim Tutor here as our tutor option for us to then dig out any card we want to. We will lose life, but again, that's what we want to do with this deck. Speaking of, again, more losing life, Murderous Rider, perfect for the deck. Spot removal if we need to, lose 2 life along the way, but then also it's a Zombie Knight with lifelink. We're going to use Anguish Unmasking here. Destroy or actually we can exile a non-land permanent. We will lose 3 life, but again, that's what you want to do with the deck. Etheros, God of Passage here, another great option for us. This legendary enchantment God is indestructible, and if we end up having a creature we own dies, we can return it to our hand unless our opponent pays 3 life. So we can also kind of mess with our opponent here. We can start reusing our cards over and over again. We'll then keep, of course, Kemble. We'll add in Ketchermos here, another great card for us where it can just sit out on the battlefield and just gain us a more value. We'll draw cards and lose 1 life anytime 1 or more cards is put into exile from graveyards and or battlefields. So that's actually good for our deck. And then in terms of other upgrades here, Smothering Tithe, again, just another way we can keep taxing our opponent here and just be absolutely gnarly with the whack that every time they draw cards, we can, of course, gain some treasures unless they want to pay the tax of 2. In terms of other upgrades here, Rankle's Prank, another sorcery option for us. We can force our opponent to discard 2 cards, sacrifice 2 creatures, or make them lose 2 life. We also have to do that as well, but again, that's what we want to do for the deck. If it still falls apart completely beyond that, we still are going to use Shieldred here as a kind of a way to stabilize. We have Bloodletter here, another great option for us to double up everything. We'll make our opponent lose a ton of life, and then also this can clean out our opponent on the spot. So good for us for a combo. We're also going to throw in the other Veto, which is actually pretty good for deck, mostly just because we're going to be sacrificing stuff left and right. So this is actually pretty good for us. If we keep sacrificing things, we can gain some life, make some Vampire Demons if we need to, drain our opponent. It's like a lot of good value for the deck. We'll throw in Loth Spider Queen here, another card for us that will help us draw cards and lose life. We can make some spider tokens for us, and anytime a creature we control dies, we can put loyalty counters on her. So again, great for us for extra backup. And then in the top end of the curve, our final 2 pieces that are upgraded are going to be Vraska, Betrayer Sting. This also, again, helps us draw cards and lose life. We will get to proliferate with the card if we need to. And then ideally, we can also put poison counters, another quick way of just closing out our opponent and hopefully getting our win. And then finally, our last card here, Bolas' Citadel, probably also, again, the best option for us for card advantage for the deck. We will lose life as we keep casting cards off the top of our library, but we don't care because that's what we want this deck to do. And then finally, the upgrades will be all in the mana base here. So we're going to throw in everything we can that, of course, musters up extra value for the deck. We'll throw in Agadia Windswept Bastion here, Castle Ardenvale, Dalkavan Encampment, Aganjo Seed of the Empire, trim down our plains down to 4, trim down our swamps down to 3, Phyrexian Tower, Midgard City of Mako, Castle Lochwain. We'll throw in, of course, all of the now upgraded dual lands that actually are untapped. Bleachbone Verge, Pathway Land, Cave of Kolios, Concealed Courtyard, Godless Shrine, Isolated Chapel, Restless Fortress, Shadowy Backstreet, Shattered Sanctum, Silent Clearing. We'll throw an Ancient Tomb here because it deals damage to us. We'll keep the Arid Archway, keep the Command Tower, added Mana Confluence. So again, for more mana fixing, Marsh Flats, great fixing, of course, in a fetch land. Prismatic Vista, all these lands actually all make us lose life, which is exactly perfect for the deck. Starting Town, same thing. Urborg will make sure everything is a swamp, that's what we want. And keep, of course, the Urza's Cave and the Volatile Fault. So that is now the upgraded version of the deck. Whew! That's a lot to talk about, everybody. But there you go. Let's go ahead, let's now take the upgraded version into the Brawl format, and let's see how much more stronger we can truly be. Okay, so as we're setting this up, is there any other Open Path cards / Spider-Man cards any of you actually like? Let me know. Is there anything that's been sticking out to you? Have you been playing with any of these cards? Or have you been completely over it because these cards feel kind of meh? Let me know, everybody. I would love to hear from you or your thoughts on that. Okay, so we've got... All right. A lot of these are modals, but that's actually good for us. We can actually use them if we need to as actual creatures or actual lands. And either way, it works out perfectly for our deck. So for that, we'll fix with the tap land first. Our opponent's playing Thractus the Butcher. Oh, this was from D&D. I don't remember this card at all, but I'm sure we'll get some value off of it. So in the meantime, let's see here. Play the Witch's Enchanter. We actually will hurt ourselves. And we'll play Legion's Landing. Take a token. So that means they're going to be a dragon deck. Okay. Gruul Dragons it is. Okay. see. So Rosie Cotton can come in and give us a little bit more for our token here. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, we also got Phyrexian Arena. Okay, that's actually great for us too. So first, Godless Shrine. Shock ourselves. Play Rosie Cotton first. So this is now where we're going to have to be mindful of, again, how much life we're losing and gaining here. Shock. Okay. She goes bye-bye, but that's, again, not a huge deal. We'll swing with our token. So we'll gain a little bit of life back. Okay. 25 and 21. All right. So now we try to start sculpting this win here. Phyrexian Arena is great for us. We can keep drawing cards and we'll lose life, so that's what we want to do. With our here. Okay. Okay, practice coming in. Hexproof and trample, so that means, let's see. Gotta be careful on this one. Double the power of each dragon we control. Alright, so in that case then, maybe Shield probably should come in, just as a precaution. Okay, drain our opponent for 2. So we're at 23, we're at 21. Practice is gonna be a problem. Underbreak region 2 also can be gnarly. So now they're not going to swing, but this does provide for us a little bit. Ooh, they are going to swing. Okay, so in that case then, we probably should hit it now. So we go down to 18. Again, small price to pay. Leech Bone coming in. And let's see here. Bloodletter. Still has Hexproof. Oh, it's from the Jade Orb. Okay. So I was like, wait, where's it coming from? Okay. Alright, so in that case, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lands. Phyrexian Tower makes up the extra 7. So I think we might be able to do it here. Okay. Bundle swing. How much damage? Okay. Down to 13. Okay, I think we might have been able to pull it off here. Okay. So, Phyrexian Tower. Oh, this is going to be hilarious here. Sacrifice. And we did the other combo, everybody. There we go. All right, we got the victory once again, everybody. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a nice, clean one right there. We drained out our opponent, and we immediately were able to swing in with our Bloodletter. Oh, man. Victory once again. Dex feels pretty good. I like this deck so far. Feels really good. Whether it was budget or non-budget. Okay. All right, so we got actually 4 wins for today. That's been great so far. So let's see if we can keep those good times rolling, everybody. Let me know so far, again, what's your initial reaction to everybody? Do you like the deck so far? Are you... Do you think you might be able to do better with the deck tech overall? Let me know, everybody. Again, I never assume that I'm the best when it comes to building these, but I think we have a pretty good build for today. It's been working very well. But I'm pretty sure we could still refine it even more. But even so, with the pile that we put together here, we actually have been doing just great. Get ourselves here, down to 22, and Cecil. But I still believe that the trickiest part about a deck like this is just knowing how much life to gain and drain when you need to. You don't want to hurt yourself too much, but also you don't want to fall too far behind either. Okay, Orcish Bowmasters. Dang. The nerf here from this is just so annoying. Okay, so in the meantime, though, we'll still bring it in. Swing here. So if Noble Hierarch tries to start getting a little extra pump, it won't be too bad. 23 and at 20. But we can still punish them if we need to. Okay, 21. Alright, Guardian Paladin. The Juka Bog. Swing here with Cecil. Does our opponent... Okay, they will not do anything. That's good. And then I guess we'll make sure we need to hit our land drops. The Danto Vanguard probably is going to be coming in next. Okay, Hardened Scales. They are playing Yuna, so expecting a lot of counters coming up soon. Okay. 4 cards. 19 versus 18 life. Alright, they got exalted. They're on 13. We don't want to lose too much life too quickly because we still need more lands. 2 mana open, opponent. What do you got? Harden Bond. Oh, it's another alchemy card. Whenever a +1/+1 counters put on a creature, seek a creature. No. That's annoying. So that means they just get random free cards like that? That's just dumb. Alright. In the meantime, a Danto Vanguard comes in. No attacks now. We're getting a little low on life, so we're going to have to maintain just a smidge. Loading zone. Okay. Bristly Bill. He gets Perpetual. That's dumb. Alchemy cards, everybody. Just not a fan of them. But they are part of the game right now, so we're just going to have to make it work. Okay, so Stone Coil Serpent actually can be blocked here. Sort of. Okay, so they are attacking. And it gets exalted. So Cecil will have to block here just to keep it out of the game. Down to 9. We lose life. We're down to 7. Ooh, we're a little too low here. Low Spider Queen. Okay. We might actually have to Teferi's Protection on this turn. It's not something I want to do. But we're a little too low here. Okay, so Teferi's Protection for a turn. A Great Henge. Okay. Well, again, we don't care about the life gain there. That's not the problem. We just need to get to the magic number of 7 lands. I don't know if we're going to get there in time. Our opponent is going way faster than I thought. Okay. Ping the Noble Hierarch at least. Okay, so at least we got a token. That buys us time. They still keep getting off of these artifacts and enchantments. Okay. Oh, they're not attacking. Okay, that's good for us. We need time. Okay. Do we do this here? That's a sorcery. Okay. We're just going to have to just wait it out. This is tricky. We're at 7, so we're low enough where we don't want to lose any more life. Not until we have 2 more lands. But we need probably going to have to save that Teferi's Protection until the very last moment in order to survive. So our opponent is getting a little close. Okay, so let's see. This will get trampled soon. Tribute to the World Tree. Okay. Kami. More counters on things. Okay. We do get to ping. Let's see. Anything we want to... I mean, there's not really anything we can ping that's going to help us out that much here, but... I guess we'll hit the Peltwater. Ping. Okay, so we have a 3-3, so... we can have this block for a little bit. Okay, so... Block here. Block here. I don't feel good about this, but I don't want to lose. Okay. Down to 1. Okay. Now at this point we just need lands. But is that enough? Oh wait, let's see. Oh, wait, no. Dang. I'm trying to think like, okay, we only had 1 more land. Revival Revenge actually might help us out here too. Okay. I think... Acquisition Raid. Destroy 1 enchantment. I want them to draw cards though. Okay. Get rid of the alchemy card. And pass. Okay. Not dead. Still not dead. We're playing it very risky right now. Big swing from our opponent. Okay, this is the Teferi's protection though. T-Pro. Okay. Survive for a turn. No damage to us. Phew. But we need literally one land right here. If we can get one land, we might be able to win. Maybe. Loading zone. Okay. If our opponent's going to tap out, this should be it. Come on. Dang. No, we wanted the land. Oh, okay. All right. I don't think there's a way we can win from this. We were so close, though. We just wanted one more land, and we actually could have done Revival Revenge. Because we can't do it with 5. Dang. Okay. So there's no way out, is there? No, there isn't. All right. Yeah. Dang. I don't know if we misplayed on that one, but...
You require my aid. I'll
Yeah.
do what I demand.
We'll concede that one. Dang. There was me just trying to figure out if there was any way out of that one. No, there wasn't. Even if we made creatures, the Pelt Collector also still has trample. It's okay, though. It's okay. We'll take the L. Thomas McCurry, I found my only Final Fantasy commander. Oh, you did? And thanks again for joining us today on the chat. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You found your only... So which one is it? Which Final Fantasy commander have you chosen? It's not Vivi, is it? I mean, it is fine if it's Vivi, but I hope it's not Vivi. But okay. While you're taking the time to answer that, let's see here. Okay, so... This might be good if we get another land. We need 3 lands, and this can actually be amazing. But that also might be risky, too. Because our opponent's playing Vivi, and I mean, you're not going to get that much time to survive off of Vivi. Alright, we're going to try to... Okay, this is actually much better. Better lands here. Still get to keep everything. Okay, so... Same thing. Game plan here is just trying to get Withar to just do its life swap. Can we life swap against our opponent here? Thomas, I'm going to be working on Tifa Lockhart. Okay, that's cool. Tifa actually can be hilariously fun if you can just get it to work. She is definitely a... I guess I would say she is a bit of a glass cannon, though. But there is plenty of ways to protect her. Although it is risky because you literally can see a mile coming what she's going to do. Still cool card, though. Okay, Verge. Priest of Felrights. Even if our opponent blows it up, that's fine. I'm going to try to bide our time here as much as possible. Once Vivi comes in, that will start the pinging process, but that's fine. We want to try to hopefully get just enough pings in so we can just mess with our opponent here with Withar. I hate Vivi with a passion. Again, when the card came out, I was like, did they really make this card a thing? I mean, it seems fun at first until you play with it enough where you learn to hate it. Kind of a shame, too, because for a brief moment, I wanted to put it into my Niv Mizzet deck because it would go so perfectly with the deck, and then nobody wants to play with the deck. So... Understandably so, it's just something that a lot of players out there don't want to deal with. And I totally get that. But we'll see. At minimum, Vivi's going to go bye-bye in Standard. Not that that's going to affect any other format. Okay. Here it comes. Here it comes. We'll try to get around it. Oh, Curiosity. Ugh. That's like the best card you can put on it. Okay. Alright, they're going to combo off, aren't they? Thomas, want to know a funny card people sleep on? Oh, what card's that? What's everybody sleeping on right now? Monstrous Rage. Okay, here come the pings. Again, we want our life total to lower itself, but not this fast. Okay, now they're going to refuel here perfectly. And again, I used to play Niv Mizzet where people hated that once that comboed off with Curiosity, because that was like literally the perfect combo. But this is actually even worse than that, because Vivi just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and she keeps drawing cards. If they get at least one card that gives them haste, we are dead. Storm Chaser's talent, doing its thing. Okay. Okay. Meddling Mage. Oh, that's right. I forgot about Meddling Mage. That's a great card, by the way. Yeah, nobody plays that card anymore. Okay, Curiosity still doing its thing. Alright. Alright, opponent now refueled their whole hand. Disgusting, by the way. Absolutely disgusting. Okay. We have 3... 4, 5, 6. Okay. Is there any hope out of this? Like, I can sacrifice my own priest. Make a treasure. Ooh. Orcish Bowmaster actually might be hilarious if we can make this work. Ancient Tomb. Actually, I don't know if this is going to be able to pull. We can pull this off here. Okay, if our opponent starts going off and drawing cards, Orcish Bowmaster, ironically, might actually save us a bit, but it all depends. Although I don't think our opponent's going to be able to fall for that. Ooh. Okay, Orcish Bowmaster coming in. This is literally the only thing that could save us. Never mind. Alright, we're dead. Yeah, I'm just going to concede now. There's no way I'm just going to let that combo off and just sit here and do nothing, so I'll take the L on that one. Wow. Again, VV, absolutely disgusting. Not going to lie, we played it before, but even on a budget, VV is just stupid. Thomas, to be honest, they should have made VV once per turn on its ping effect. I think, because, what is it? I remember the reading about VV and what is it? I think they did a video a couple months, like a month or two ago, about explaining the thought process when it came to building. But it kind of boils down to the fact that they don't really test the cards as much as we think they do. And I think that's a big issue with Magic cards. But at the same time, considering that we're getting now 6, 7+ sets a year, not including Commander products, that's a ridiculous amount of cards that are going to be flooding the game. So to a degree, I can understand that they don't have enough time to test every single possibility, but at the same time, they do create the game. So in a way, it's hard for me to excuse the behavior when you realize that these cards get pushed so much that we end up getting really, really frustrating experiences with these cards. Like Standard right now is just not fun until they ban VV. And even then, VV will still be valid across other formats, so it's not like we get rid of the problem. But I don't know, I digress. It's just a frustrating experience. But yeah, if they only just nerf the ping effect to like maybe, yeah, just once a turn, that would have been fine. Yeah, Meddling Mage calling VV? That actually could work. That gives me an idea for a future deck idea that we'll talk about maybe a little bit later on. Okay, Arid Archway. We'll bounce back to the plains. Not ideal, but we got to find a way to just get down this plan. Get down Staff of Completion. Blind Obedience actually is not too bad here in the next part. If we can just get ahead of Gilgamesh here. Alright. Block here. 26. Silent Clearing. So, Blind Obedience. We have the Extort. Okay, so little by little here. Trying to slow down the Ragavan until we have an answer for it. We do have a Discord, by the way. Thanks again for asking. The Discord link should be in one of the other videos, but I'll add it, of course, to this one. For some reason, my chat bot is not posting out there the actual link, so apologize on that. But we do have a Discord link. Not the super craziest of Discords, but again, we're pretty chill. We do have our little discussions when we can. Okay. Put out there Baron. So Baron at least has enough where we can block Ragana for a little bit. If Gilgamesh comes in, we can at least keep it tapped down for now. So that does buy us time. Metal Cyst, okay. Alright, it's tapped, so that's good. They equip it. Okay. Ugh. That's a big hit. Block for a turn here, though. Didn't want him to die, but we don't really have a choice right now. Okay, black market connections can get us back in this fight. But Unstoppable Slasher actually might be better here. Okay, slowly drain our opponent there. And we'll pass here. Okay, so Slasher at least provides us insurance for a smidge. We don't want to lose too much life just yet. Not until we have the combo ready. Okay. Oh yeah, and I did want to remind everybody, again, if you like any of the content, if you haven't already done so, like and subscribe to the channel, of course. We appreciate you wherever you are watching the content, whether it's across X, YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram. Appreciate all of you. And again, as I mentioned, as it was brought up right now, the Discord link and all the other links will be located in the details of this live stream once we are done. So I will be adding that soon, everybody. Just hang in there. We'll get that through. Ooh. They're pumping up the Ragavan. Do they dare swing, though? I mean, I don't think they'll will against an Unstoppable Slasher. Okay, starting town. So that means we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're still a little short. Starting town. Black market connections. We'll extort. As we can. Might gain or drain our opponent there. And we'll pass here. Okay, so we are good. We just need to survive. Well, actually, wait, can we survive? Actually, I don't know now. Because I forgot. Gilgamesh now is a trample. Oh. Ugh. I don't know if we're actually going to survive this hit here. Oh, sorted body. Oh. Yeah. The tap down doesn't even matter against Toots. Okay. Now our opponent got us here. We're dead. Alright, I'll let them do their swing. Alright, well, I mean, we've had a good win streak for quite a while, but I guess now this is where Arena's going to make us start losing a ton. Alright, go ahead, opponents. Comes back tap, but it doesn't matter to us. Gilgamesh, pretty good. I actually haven't had a chance to play with the card, but it does seem pretty fun for those of you who are fans of equipment decks. But we just couldn't get around this. Couldn't stop the Ragavan, couldn't stop anything else. They know us a ton. Yep, they do their thing. Draw some cards, doesn't matter. Now the Ragavan kills us, and that is game. Okay, well, it felt like we didn't get a chance to do much there, but that's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. I guess equipment, it doesn't matter that they get tapped. But it's okay. It's no big deal. Just shake it off, and we're just going to play another one. Still, though, the deck actually does feel pretty good overall, and I am satisfied with it so far. We'll, again, go over near the end of the stream a little bit of info, again, talk about the good and the bad of the deck, things that maybe we would adjust now that we've got a ton of extra games in to see how it really feels. Ooh, Kellen. All right, so Kellen is another equipment deck, but it's Boros equipment this time. Let's see. Can we get around a Boros equipment deck? We'll find out here. Okay. Pay the 3. Again, we're just trying to hurt ourselves just enough to make sure Withar gets most value. Okay. Kellen. So, by turn 2, they can search for an aura equipment. Mana Confluence. Odonto Vanguard. Down 21. So, this actually is another one of our pieces we can use to combo off, but we just need a little bit more time to put everything together. Or we could just go with the aggro plan. Either way. Mountain. So, do they cast Kellen? No, not yet. Lizard Blades. Alright. Play Shattered Sanctum. Unstoppable Slasher coming back in. We'll swing here. Trying to get a little damage in. Opponent, do you block? Well, hold on, everybody. Got a bot over on Twitch there. No bots, everybody. Say no to the spam. Sword of Light and Shadow. Oh, that literally is the worst thing against us. Because now they can get around our whole deck. But we'll see. We can try to see if we can get around that. Silent Clearing. Play Veto. He has flying. So we might have to go with the aggro plan here. Down to 17. Drain our opponent down to 8. Okay. So they are in range. We might not actually need Withar for this one. Okay, Kemba. Okay. They attach it. So they're protected. But Veto actually is fine for us here too. Ooh, Vraska too. Let's see, play the Urborg. Yeah, but we can't mark down. Play Vraska. Hurt ourselves. It's only a treasure though. So we'll turn that into a treasure. Opponent has something? Bolt Bend. Oh, wow. Bolt Bend? Not what I was expecting, but okay. So they turn Veto into an artifact. That's annoying, by the way. No attacks then. Well, I've not seen anybody actually play a Bolt Bend. They redirected our ability there. But that actually might not be too bad. We do have still a couple other options here. Dalkavan Encampment. So if our opponent attaches Lizard Blades to there. Okay, so they do. I'm wondering right here. Can we still get a win? What do they swing at? Vraska? No, they go to a face. And we can't block because of their sword. Alright, down to 6. They're at 11. And they go up to 14. Okay, so I guess we'll also tick up. Not that we need to. And let's see. Okay, all in here. Ooh, but if they have a burn spell, we're dead. Ooh, do we do it? Or maybe actually we don't actually even have to. Actually, we don't even have to. Victory there, everybody. Once again. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second, everybody, because I thought, wait, we could hit ourselves down to 1, but that's not necessary. Well, we'll get that win. All right, nice. Another one for us, everybody. Feeling good about that. All right. Yeah, I definitely will put this in one of my decks I'll probably likely keep for a little bit longer, because this actually was a fun one so far. But okay, just FYI, everybody, we're also past the 3/4 mark of the stream itself, so just reminding you one more time, just, again, we don't stream too long on here, but I still appreciate everybody that's been watching right now. This has actually been a really fun deck for us today. I've actually been enjoying this one quite a bit. The card, Mr. Negative, I guess, again, in paper, or Withar, whichever way you want to call it, it's actually a really good card. It's actually pretty fun. It seems like it's just, no matter what our opponent tries to do, we can still make our opponent just completely drain them out. But there is, of course, some things that I do want to acknowledge with a deck like this. Even if you can get that trigger off, there are still ways you can still kind of get around it. The biggest thing that we have yet to see today is we actually haven't dealt with a single counter spell yet. And that's the #1 thing that will completely wreck this deck. But surprisingly, we've avoided the counter spell players out there today. I suppose that would have been Vivi, but so far so good. But just something to keep in mind if you're going to play with Withar here. He's high risk, but very high reward, if you can make it work. Okay, Prismatic Vista. So we'll then fetch out our basic. We're playing with Slimefoot and Squee. Again, this is actually another card I've been meaning to play with. Maybe you actually might do this for later this month. I think this might be a month now where I might start experimenting with other cards that I've been meaning to do for the longest time. Get a Swamp. Okay, so with that, Command Tower. Play the Arcane Signet. Getting a ramp package going. So that means they're going to try to do some heavy reanimation. Okay, Ethros is good too, so we'll put that in now. So with that, that buys us insurance that we're going to need. Anytime a creature dies, we can bounce it back. That's if our opponent pays the life. Ooh, we also have reanimate too. Okay, this is actually really good for us overall. Veto coming in. Alright, opponents. Crawling infestations. They're going to start milling. Slimefoot Sweet coming in now. Ooh, okay. Ooh, Memories. Stroke of Midnight. That's actually great for us here. So in that case then, we will hit Slimefoot and Sweet now. They make a token. We'll swing here. Down to 24. So we're still even. If our opponent does something huge here, we actually might be able to steal something pretty gnarly. Let's see. They have to sacrifice a Sapperling in order to do that. Oh, actually, it might be hilarious if we actually steal their commander. I didn't realize they actually have it in the graveyard. That's a bit of a risky move, opponents. You know what? I'm going to be that person today. I'll take your Slimefoot Squee, opponent. I'll take your commander. Thank you, opponents. I'll take your commander for myself. Essence Channeler. And I guess we'll station up. So, station here. Alright. We will station up some more. I can't believe that. Our opponent just let us just steal their commander, so I will happily use that to my advantage. Okay, tap everything down. Okay, so once we get this going, then we're going to start making tokens of our artifacts and enchantments, except they're legendary. Okay. Okay, so we can't copy Ethros, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. So our opponent... I still can't believe that. It's not too often when you get to steal someone else's commander, so this is hilarious for me. Tally. Okay. Well, that is terrifying, but we do have an answer for that if we could just get to a certain thing. Glasswing Grace. Okay. This might be a turn where we might actually have to use our Toxic Deluge. Ufalud. Hi. Hello. Joining us over on Twitch there. How you doing today, my fire friend? Thanks again for joining us today, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, opponent is swinging here. They definitely have all the lands in the world, by the way. Ooh. Down to 12. Okay, so... Shieldred, that's not enough. So, we're going to have to take a huge hit, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to have to. Alright, so here's how we do this. So before we use our Wrath, let's station. Okay. Station up our planet. Okay, so we're at max value. Okay, so in that case then... Alright, Toxic Deluge. This is going to hurt quite a bit. Up to 7. So we go down to 5, but we blow away the whole board. Whew. Okay. But we get all these triggers off, which is hilarious, by the way. So, opponent, do you get to keep our cards, or do you pay the 3? Oh, they do. Wow, okay. Alright. Okay, so, barring a reanimation spell, we might have some time here to get some stuff going, but I don't know. Still a little risky, by the way. Oh no. Valgavoth. Okay, now we need another spot removal or we're dead. Dang. Oh, it came so close to stabilizing. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it this game, everybody. Oops. Sacrifice... Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents? Yeah. Dang. Can't even destroy the Valgavoth here. And even if we do, we can't blow up everything. So, I'll just concede. That's a shame. Wait, did we disconnect? Wait, hold up. Did we just get disconnected there for a second? Hello? Are we still on? Wait, we're still there, right? Okay, okay, I think we're stable again. We're stable. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, everybody. The stream kind of pooped out for just a moment there, but we're almost done. Oof, OLED. I'm at work and bored, so I joined because I found your channel yesterday. Well, thanks again for finding me. Again, hopefully I can provide you a little bit of entertainment before we're done. We're going to be wrapping it up soon. I think this or maybe like 1 or 2 more matches, and most likely we'll be done for today. Also, I'm kind of concerned now that we kind of had a small little disconnect with the actual... Oh, there was buffering. Yeah. Hopefully, though, the stream will last just long enough for us to wrap this up. We're almost done, though. Almost done. We're going to try to see if we can squeeze in a couple more matches here, and we should be... that'll be it for today, everybody. But still, I appreciate y'all being here just the same. Ooh, okay, we'll keep the planes. All right, so Servandum. We played with this card in Standard, actually. It's pretty good there, but I haven't yet to see it actually play out here in Brawl. So we'll see if it might be better here. Okay, Arcane Signets. Nalgalox Faithful. But yeah, thanks again for joining us today. So, do you want me asking what you do for work? I mean, hopefully you're not doing anything super critical, of course. Pyrexine Arena. Attacks. Okay, so now we have our draw engine on, and we will start losing life, which will be great for Withar once we get that on the field. Just got to start buying ourselves a little bit of time. Let's go ahead, opponent. That's fine. You can drain us out if you like to. That's okay. Requisition raid will be good for later. And then we'll attack. Okay. Opponents. 2 lands. So let's see. Which Orzhov deck is going to be better? They also are gaining and draining. Okay. No blocks. Down 18. We will sacrifice the Urza's Cave now. And then from that, we will get out Ancient Tomb. Draw into the card. Down to 17. Okay, so we are actually in range already, so we just need to flip this, but we got to wait it out just a bit longer. Alright, the last ride is good. And we will wait it out here. Guarding the building. Oh, like security? Well, hopefully, again, not distracting you too hard from anything that's super critical out there. But in all seriousness, again, and just hopefully y'all good there. Okay, opponent goes back up to 24. That's fine. We don't care how much life they gain. All we just want to do is just drain them out. Dread Horde Invasion. Okay, well, now their opponent's going to start making their own tokens. Swing. They don't. Okay, so in that case then, pay 2 life here, draw a card. We will Orcish Bowmasters. Kind of get ahead of ourselves here and just try to start doing some stuff. Okay, so the last ride is now at 0-0. Now it's a 1-1. That's good. Okay, so Verge. Now it's just the fun game of just sculpting this until we can get to what we need. So in that case then, we'll discard... What do we want to be? Okay. We will throw away... Bogger Trawler. Alright. And again, we don't mind that that's actually going to hurt. Requisition Raid. We will destroy their enchantment, because I also don't want them to lose life. We want them to actually keep their life, so we can start doing our thing. And finally, late to dinner, Bogger Trawler. Down to 9 we go. And then empty their graveyard. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Actually, no attacks yet. The last ride is also within range where we can also start swinging with this if we want to. But we actually have everything we need. All we just need to do is just completely drain them out here and hopefully get one quick little swing. Although if we had a flyer, I would feel a little bit more confident about this. Oh, Bartolome. So that's instant speed sack. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, you do you. I still appreciate you just being here just for now. Okay, opponents. Still not swinging yet. We're going to draw some cards here, though. Oh, okay, so we also have a Revival Revenge. That's actually perfect for us as well. Okay. Adagia. So, let's see here. We crew for 2. We can Deadly Dispute as well. We have options now. But we also need to be careful. Let's see. I think we'll wait it out. It's tempting to swing, but I need a couple more creatures to feel better about this. Because I'm pretty sure our opponent also is aware of our game plan. At least I have to be. Go for the throat. Okay. Well, I guess that makes it an easy choice. Deadly Dispute. Uffalud. I want to play some Brawl because Standard was so boring, but I don't want to spend all 23 rares and 5 mythics on some random deck. Can you recommend something for me? Like for something for, like, Brawl? Because if you got Brawl, I mean, hey, this deck we're doing today actually is pretty hilarious. Like this one right here. I mean, granted, this one is the upgrade version of the deck we played earlier, but if you check a little bit earlier on, we actually do have a budget version of this. I mean, what do you prefer? Like, are you looking at a deck like under, what is it, under 20 rares? Under 15 rares? Does it have to be? Oh yeah, for Brawl. Okay. Oh yeah, what would you consider is the budget you're working with? Okay. Opponent is just blowing for stuff here. That's annoying. It is getting a little close to the end here. Okay. So they are going to start pumping up here. Okay. We're at... If we let it go, we go down to 1. Okay. This is now going to be a very risky last part here. We don't want to go too low. But we also need to make sure we can stabilize here. Okay. Hidden Stockpile. Campbell. Okay. Let's try this. I still need a flyer. It's my biggest thing I'm trying to get out right now. But until then, maybe we should build up the board just a smidge. Make a food token. Let's get some triggers off. We'll put this on Campbell. At the same time, our opponent can just pump up Servandum and just sack it just to blow up something they don't want to deal with. That's another option, too, against our opponent. Hidden Stockpile. I was thinking about Slivers, but I must spend all my wild cards. I mean, not necessarily. Believe it or not, we actually did a Slivers deck. Actually, what is it? We did a live stream of that on a budget like about a week and a half ago. It is doable. And I would totally recommend it if you actually are interested. I mean, it is in the details of the channel. But yeah, check out our live stream section. We actually do have that. Okay. Oh, we're so close right now. We got to get to a point where we can just carefully swing, but I'm well aware that that Servandum is the only thing stopping us from trying to get our victory here. Actually, considering how long this is taking, this might actually be our final match here. It all depends on... Okay, Mortify. Okay. Well, we're going to turn on the last ride, just as kind of like a precaution. If it dies, it dies. Okay, so Mortify gets that down, but we do at least have blockers. Opponents? Cruel Celebrant, okay. Anything else, opponents? They're tapped out. Come on, opponents. Go all in. I dare you. Okay, so with that... Oh, opponents! They gave up? They didn't want us to get the final hit in? I mean, yay! We get the win! Aw, I was expecting like some kind of awesome, like, nice, hilarious way to victory there. Okay. Well, not quite exactly the most stunning way to win, but hey, we'll take the win. Victory's a victory. Okay. Actually, hold on one second here. Now that we have a couple extra moments here before we actually kind of wrap this up, let's see. Uvoled, since you did mention it, let's see, do I have the deck still? I think I still have it here. Although I think this might be the upgraded one. So I actually do have, I mean, I have links for it. So, oh yeah, this is the upgraded version. Sorry about that. But yeah, we do have a Slivers. If you look it up, yeah, from the channel, there is a budget version. I mean, it's pretty much every sliver we could muster into Arena in one deck. It's still pretty good. It actually got us a handful of wins, so I would definitely check that out. I try to make it as balanced between power and also, you know, keeping it as cheap as possible. But it is there. If you want to check the upgrade, I mean, I'll give you kind of a brief little overview here, but yeah, we do have a full live stream if you want to check that out to see like how well it does against others. One thing that's actually pretty fun about that, the final match, spoiler, we actually got to face off against one person that actually was working for Wizards. So we actually did get to play against one person that is a developer on the game. That was actually pretty fun. Wait, where did I just put it right now? I cannot find all my decks right now. You see it right now? Wow, I can't find anything. I swear I just saw it right now. Oh, it was right there. Wait, how did it get moved to the top? I wasn't paying attention. Any case, but yeah, so the links, of course, are going to be in the stream for that one. But you can kind of see here. Yeah, I know we have way too many decks, but hey, that's the life of a content creator. I mean, literally, I'm coming up with like 4 decks a week. It's just exhausting, by the way. But some way, somehow, I managed to make it work. I know, too many. But yeah, so this is the upgraded version here of what we played on stream a couple weeks ago. So if you want to, again, full video is out for you for that one if you want to take your time with that one. First half of it, as always, like all of my streams, I do a budget deck for the first half, and the second half, if you like the deck enough, an upgraded version if you want to kind of get a feel for how it is. But then again, I won't go over it all here right now because, again, we have a whole stream from that one, and I don't want to just make this drag on too long. But there is going to be that for you if you want to check it out. It's fun. It's definitely a deck that can be very explosive out of nowhere. So hopefully, again, you get time to look at that whenever you got a little extra free time. But for now, let's actually cover the final part of today's deck. So the Life Swap deck, everybody. What did you think of the deck overall, everybody? Do you like what we played today? Would you play this in any way, shape, or form? I actually really liked how this deck turned out. It actually was a lot of fun. I'm actually surprised at how many opponents did not even see coming. I mean, this card is like literally like you can see this coming a mile away. Literally, the card comes in, you swap life. We want ourselves to get drained out as much as we can, as close as we can to ideally just 1 life, and then we just flip it once this card comes in. I actually was surprised. There was actually moments where I honestly thought we were going to get destroyed because either our opponent's going to drain us out once we get too risky with life, or they were going to burn us, or they had some kind of other plan like a counter spell. But we actually evaded all that today. We actually got quite a few wins with the deck. So even on a budget of a deck of, what is it now? $65, 13 rares on Arena? That's actually pretty good for a deck like this. I was really happy with the performance. So I definitely would recommend this deck if you're a fan of life gain and drain strategies. If you're a fan of tokens and sacrificing, definitely a fun deck for you, and you definitely can enjoy it on a budget. But if you actually want to go all out, you kind of saw already, the non-budget version is hilariously just as strong. And of course, it's just much better because you have a much more consistent mana base. I would definitely recommend this, of course, for anybody that wants to go all out. But again, fair warning, I probably would not play this ever in paper just because, again, it's a lot to cover. The deck is $800 to actually want to spend that. I think it's like 60 plus rares if you actually wanted to build this in Arena, which is a lot to ask for, but that's a reason why we shape this as an upgraded version if you want to go into it. And of course, the budget and budget versions, depending on, again, what your range is, depending on what you want to spend. But both decks will be great for you however you want to look at it. Now, before we are done today, just to kind of give you a little FYI about what's to come in the future, if you stick in there for just a moment, my True Fire friends, I appreciate you being in there. Here's a little sneak peek as to what's to come for our next deck tech going out on YouTube on Monday. So we're going to be doing an Is It Discard deck. This is designed for Pioneer. So we are going to be wrapping up footage for this. We'll be finishing up the edits over the weekend, and we'll be able to show you again how well this deck does in ranked for the Pioneer format. Beyond that, as far as other deck techs we're doing, I'm still kind of feeling very meh on the Omen Pass / Spider-Man set. So I think we're going to try to take this time during October to kind of just play with more experimental stuff that we haven't had a chance to play with. Just, again, a lot of cards out there that I've been wanting to do, but I just haven't had the chance to do it. So I think this might be the opportunity before we get to, what is it now? What's the next set? Avatar? That one I look forward to, but we'll worry about Avatar once we start getting previews. We'll start talking about that later on. The only other deck I actually do have for my ongoing series of ultra budget decks, these decks don't, again, have any rares or mythics. These are as cheap as you can make these decks. Great for beginners, great for ultra budget players out there. We have basically Margot here. So actually this is using one of the Omen Path cards. So we're going to try to put this together we'll start recording this one soon, and this will be continuing on our series of ultra budget decks. We have all of the 5 colors covered on budget already, so we're focusing on the dual colors. So that's going to be that coming out soon. I do have another idea for another one that's ultra budget, which is going to be, where is it at? So we have a Slimefoot deck that it's also going to be part of the Basically series. We'll be focusing on this a little bit further out, maybe at the end of the month. But these will be, again, some ideas for those decks. As for what we're streaming coming up next week, I'm not sure yet. Whatever kind of pops into my head and whatever I want to put together, I'm sure we can put together something that'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Oofaled, Spider-Man is very mid-expansion. Yeah, I do agree. It seems like, again, I wanted to give it a fair shot. Like any set that, even if I'm not a fan of a set coming out, I still like to give every set a fair shot of whatever. We tried again earlier this week on making a spider deck. We made 2 spider decks. Both of them were okay. They weren't amazing, but they did decent. But overall, I'm just... yeah, my creative juices are just not there for this set. I know this was, and it's been discussed a lot from other people. It's already been discussed that Spider-Man was originally supposed to be just a standalone, like, smaller product, but they had to fluff it out so much that it just feels very, very filler. And you could definitely tell with this set. They tried, but it just... I'm sorry. Even if the set does sell for Wizards, I'm sure they're happy about that. But as from a gameplay standpoint, it feels very uninspired. So... kind of a shame too, but we'll see if they actually can do better with the next one, which is, what is it, like next year? And again, we'll do another video on this, like Marvel coming out next year, Star Trek. I still feel very meh because a lot of these are just not Magic sets, but we'll save that rant for another YouTube video I will be doing down the line. Yeah, that has like no impact in Standard. Literally, the Final Fantasy set was like the set that made a huge impact because Vivi is just a menace. But hopefully, again, that'll get banned very soon, and then from that point, hopefully we'll jump back into Standard once Vivi is gone. But again, we'll save all that for another rambling and rant for another day. Any case, that's going to be it for today, everybody. So thanks again one more time to everybody that did show up today. Again, shout out to everyone that was in the chat today. So Jetski jumping in for a moment there. Thomas McCurry as well, also on YouTube. Thanks again. Ufaled joining us also on Twitch there. I appreciate you showing up for this later half. Claudio Perez Cordova on Instagram there, as well as Bert Beef Leaf. Thank you again for joining us there. And anybody else that's watching this, whether you're watching it live or on the replay, I appreciate any and all support you all give me. If you haven't already done so, show some extra love, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content so you don't miss on any of the gameplay in the future. Deck techs, booster pack openings, hopefully some fun live skits we'll do, and some exclusive stuff on the Patreon, as well as membership on YouTube there. Your support will help keep this channel going. But until then, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll get a chance to do this again. We're looking at, again, next Wednesday for our next live stream. Usually, again, Wednesdays and Fridays are typically when we do the live streams, but I always announce it ahead of time while we can. Oh, and thank you for the follow again, Ufaled. I appreciate you showing up even for a hot minute. Hopefully, again, we'll get a chance to join us again very soon. But until then, before we go, as always, I'd like to remind everybody, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on Wednesday, everybody. Later.